So, hello everybody, and welcome to our
Is this
channel.
our new podcast format?
Why not?
This looks so weird. It feels weird.
This is not a podcast. We don't have the mics.
Yeah, welcome to CDMP podcast, where the microphone only works half of the time and we don't know what to talk about.
Do you, when you sit down on a chair, do you cross your legs like that, or you? What's your favorite and more comfortable position?
Like this?
This one, like me? Oh, like that.
Yeah. Legs to the side.
Okay, but if you sit in a chair, how do you sit? Like with the leg like that, or like this? Because like this.
I sit with my legs like folded and up on the chair sometimes.
Oh yeah, you know that when I was growing up, there was this thing that girls have to cross like this, right?
That's so weird because when I
Can
was growing
people see
up,
me?
my mom told me that never cross your legs because when you're growing up, it can deform your legs if you cross them.
Really?
Yeah, she wouldn't let me cross my legs.
So she basically grew you lesbian.
No, but she said you have to.
No,
Your
but
bones have to
now I
form,
just give
otherwise
it-
you'll be like
Yeah.
crooked.
But now I just made a point because, in a way, when I was growing up, this is very masculine, when you cross like that, and this is feminine, right? Which I don't understand. For me, there's no gender in the way you cross your legs. And sometimes I do this because it feels more comfortable, depends on where I'm sitting, and sometimes I do that.
But you know why guys can't cross their legs, right?
No, they can.
They'll squish their balls.
I don't know.
That's why
not
they
a thing.
sit like
No,
that.
no, it's
'cause
not
if
a
they
thing.
cross it, it's uncomfortable.
No, no, absolutely, it's not a thing.
Imagine if they're wearing jeans.
Check it out. No, because I know many men who actually cross like this. And my grandfather actually found this, like either the keeping the legs to spread in a man, or even like position your legs like that in a man. It was very rude for him. For him, there was no gender in this. For him, there is rude, not rude.
Okay.
Because you actually, the way you want to cover your
small
parts and not expose in any way is for both women and men, I guess, But if you do that, or you spread your leg, like, you kind of like expose the anatomy of parts that you want to keep private,
Okay.
Anyway,
Happy Easter.
happy Easter.
I don't know if you're celebrating. We're not really celebrating. I don't have any memories attached to Easter. It's like Christmas for me because I never celebrated. I grew up in Turkey and I'm half Jewish, so it was never a thing, but I wish I had those memories.
I actually have a lot of memories attached to Easter.
Yeah.
And we were always celebrating it. And what I remember, of course, was the chocolate egg. And
You actually had a giant chocolate egg.
giant chocolate egg. And then before Kinder Surprise, we had surprises in the eggs. And sometimes, depending on the price of the chocolate egg, you will find plasticky toys or very nice, expensive things.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Who came up with that? It's like Christmas. It's so fun for kids.
But this is the thing, that I wasn't eating too much of the chocolate. I didn't like anything sugary when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a child, my sister was like all over the chocolate. I wasn't. And
I would just love to do an Easter egg hunt because I am such a sucker. I love treasure hunts. That would be so much fun.
This is something that I learned here in Canada, actually.
No, they don't do it in
The eggs,
Italy.
not at my age. I know when I was growing up.
See, they came up with all the fun stuff and we missed out. Seriously.
But I was doing for my daughter, so
Yeah,
I
that's
kind of.
nice.
I mean, it's different when you're an adult doing things that you're supposed to enjoy as a kid, but
I used to do these really fun treasure hunts for my brother and stuff. I would hide little clues in places, and the clue would, give you a hint of where the next clue is. So it's like little pieces of paper hidden all throughout the house. And I would make it difficult too, and then you find the little present at the
Wait,
end.
but you were doing that as a game, not
as a game.
because you guys had. Oh no, you were not. Of course, you were not celebrating because your mom is Jewish and she had Passover. Maybe she was going to.
Passover. Yeah, I remember
You were
Passover.
going to your grandparents.
Yeah, we would go for dinner.
Yeah, which is the same.
It's boring.
we had a lot of tradition which comes from the Jewish tradition, of course, Passover, and the same sweets. I'm gonna send you a photo so that you can see, you can show it. My sister just baked them, and these are typical Jewish kind of, baked goods made for Easter or Passover.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and the egg, symbol of fertility and wealth and whatever.
It's so weird how they came up with the Santa Claus, and then they came up with the egg-laying bunny. Like, how did they come up with these things? It's so random.
So symbols, actually.
It's so random. Like an old fat guy from the
It's
North
not random.
Pole with a white beard. No? It's so weird. It's so random. With a red hat. Who came up with that? It's like cartoon levels of creativity, I think.
What are you talking about? What's the red
Santa
hat?
Claus.
Oh, Santa Claus. Okay. No, there is all it's all a part of traditional old folk tales and all of that.
I'm just saying it's very creative. I like it.
Yeah.
I wish I grew up with it. It's so colorful.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, it's all to indoctrinate the little ones into the religion.
Mm-hmm.
Because they would make it fun for them.
Yeah.
So
No, I didn't feel the Easter as much as I didn't feel like Christmas. But maybe because I changed my diet pretty much. I mean, I'm on this keto diet. I don't want to eat any more sugar unless I make keto things. But there's no memory there, right? Attached to the way I was growing up. Like these past 2 days, like I was totally crushed because of the news that came up about Lee McMillan. I don't know if you guys heard it, but she was a YouTuber, and at one point, she started being very vocal about her struggle with depression. At the same time, there was a YouTuber, specifically one who targeted her and started cyberbullying her and making fun of her van life and doing all these things.
you didn't say what happened to her. You have to tell. Maybe
So she committed suicide.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh.
It was like the longest
Sorry.
lead up and nothing.
Sorry. So that's
Yeah,
why
sorry, I
I
don't
was
wanna
crushed.
laugh at
She
that.
committed suicide, and when you are so on the edge with your mental health, cyberbullying doesn't help for sure. So I wasn't
wanna
even a
say how
follower.
she
I
committed
didn't know her. I didn't know until that happened, because some other couples I follow and they do van life, and maybe now they're doing something else, but they talked about her death. So I said, oh my God. And I don't know why, but I felt like a connection with her. It's almost like, when John Lennon was shot, I wasn't really a fan of John Lennon, but when he was shot, I felt like, oh my God, I felt crushed. Many other people died, as you know, like actors and popular people, but I don't feel anything. But for specific people, I don't know if it happens to you guys, I feel like a connection, and I feel like somebody very close to me just died. That's how it felt. Yeah, she was 28 years old.
Yeah.
And if you see her, she was like full of life. You would never,
Yeah,
except for the
couldn't-
times.
I couldn't believe it. Because her last video, she was so upbeat. Like, she just bought a new
Van,
van.
she
She was ready to renovate,
Yeah.
go on a trip, but then I understand it as well, because I know the struggle. So if she's really struggling internally, maybe it just didn't seem like it was worth it.
Yeah. So that basically set the tone for this Easter holidays, Easter weekend for me. For some reason, I'm kind of like, the theme of suicide has always had an impact on me, also on my work. And I've always kind of addressed that issue, even the documentary I'm working on now. So it's very close to my heart for some reason. I mean, speaking about cyberbullying, it's interesting because yesterday we were playing cards, right?
That's how you're gonna segue into this?
Yeah,
That's
because
brilliant.
in a way it ties up. if you
Okay,
think
tell
about
me.
it.
Tie
So
it
what
up for
happened?
me.
What happened? Do you want to say?
Okay, we were playing cards, and we were talking about that one time, because I was very hyper because I had a coffee, even though it was decaf. I was too hyper yesterday. Couldn't sleep. Anyway, so we were talking about that time I took mushrooms, and we were taking this hike in Vancouver Island, and I was super hyper, and I was a little bit annoying, as you put it, because I was like Do you want to describe how I was? I don't know.
Yeah, you were all over the place, and then you were very stubborn. Usually you're stubborn, but on a mushroom, you're even more stubborn. So you became very annoying, and I was insisting to go one way. Well, you saw the video, right?
Yeah. Anyway, so you got me annoying, and then I was like, but you're always like that. Because you're always all over the place, hyper, like singing, talking, like very chit-chatty. And then you were like, yeah, I know. I'm annoying.
Yeah.
But you didn't take it badly at all. Which
this is what
confused me.
Yeah.
Because when you called me annoying, I felt like, ouch. Like,
you feel hurt.
Yeah, I feel hurt. But you don't take it personally.
No, in fact, I said I always stick to my higher self, and what is the higher self? I'm gonna tie this up with cyberbullying, okay?
Okay.
So I usually don't react to criticism very bad, or somebody calls me names or anything, because I say that's not me, that's not me. I don't attach myself to the person that people perceive. Right? And if I had to attach to the person that people perceive, I would lose myself. Absolutely. Basically, everything good that I think about myself is stored in that higher self. All right? And also good advice to myself, good choices in my life, being positive, thinking highly of myself belongs all to that higher self. And I try to stick to the higher self rather than the lower self, because as you can guess, if I stick to my lower self, then I live in the world of self-doubts, of how do you say when you constantly
low self-esteem?
Yeah, low self-esteem, but so that is not very constructive. On the contrary, is destructive, right? And it goes into a spiraling down motion, and it doesn't feel good at all. And that is due to that part of consciousness identifying or sticking too much to that lower self.
But when somebody calls you annoying and stuff like that, like, it's good that you don't take it badly, but you don't let it touch you at all. Isn't that like narcissism?
This is the thing that there is a fine line between narcissism and self-confidence, I think. I used to be less confident. Now, with age, maybe you go through so much that you build more of that confidence. And for instance, even social anxiety, social anxiety comes from thinking that you're less than, or thinking that you have to perform in a certain way, thinking
Other
that
people are judging you.
People are judging you if you don't perform in a certain way, if you don't behave in a certain way. And if you start thinking, okay, I'm in front of these people, surrounded by these people, and I believe that they are also going through the same thing, like, the same maybe anxiety, and they hide it.
Yeah, but isn't it like it's a learned thing, right? Because you're not born with social anxiety. You learn it because of the judgments you receive, like if you were not treated very lovingly or something like that, you learn it, and then you become afraid of people. Like, how dogs, they get hit, are afraid of people. It's the same thing, but in a psychological way. That's social anxiety. So when you say, like, if somebody calls me annoying or something like that, I take it badly because, like, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to be, a nuisance. So it is personal because I don't want to be this person who's annoying other people. So I would rather just, like, disappear off the face of the earth than, like, bothering other people. Yeah, for me it's different. Like, if somebody says, oh, you're annoying, like, we are playing cards and I start singing and I start, moving too much around and stuff like that, I kind of annoy people and they are vocal about it. So then I don't feel bad. I just feel, oh my gosh, I'm bothering people, I'm crossing some boundaries, in a way.
because it's fun as much as it's fun for me, but it's also fun for other people. So for me, I don't take it personally. I just act upon it. It's like, can you lower the volume of that radio? I lower it. Can you close the window? There is a cold draft. I close the window.
You're the radio transmitter, like.
Yeah, can you not be annoying? Okay, so I bring it a notch down, but I don't take it personally. I don't feel bad, you know. That's the difference, maybe.
And you were saying that you don't identify with yourself.
I don't identify with. That's the part.
That's why you don't
maybe
take it personal.
Yeah, I usually say that's not me. It's the person that they are perceiving, and the person they're perceiving is the person who is annoying them. So I'll take a notch down on that person. It's almost like there are two of me in this, you know.
That's so weird how you think about yourself like that. It's cool. I mean, because I have really kind of low self-esteem, so I think it's cool, but also I don't want to become like, to me it seems like slippery slope to narcissism. I don't know, maybe that's totally wrong, but to me it's always like,
narcissism has a very specific characteristics.
Where you don't give a fuck about other people and you only like care about yourself?
No, there is no. You see, not giving a fuck means that I'm not considering other people being annoyed, so I don't take it a notch down.
Okay.
But at the same time, I don't take it personal.
Right. Yeah.
In the narcissist case, they don't.
They don't take it a notch down.
They don't take it a notch
down. They
down.
might even take it a notch up just to be an ass.
Exactly, but that's being an ass. Sometimes people are just assholes, you know. They just want to provoke.
Sometimes you do that too.
But that doesn't mean they're narcissists, you know. That doesn't mean narcissist is such a specific way of being, you know. You gotta kind of discern, you know, between.
Well, sometimes you do that too. Like sometimes you just to provoke, you become more annoying. How do you describe that?
I mean, provoking people is like a way of steering energy, you know. You want to stir the pot a little bit, you know. There is kind of like a stagnation of energy, and you kind of want to shake it a little bit, and maybe that's why sometimes I'm kind of provocative.
You're such a different personality than me, like, it's incredible.
When you go into that spiraling down, you kind of like, you know, you stick to the lower self, you know, to that realm of doubt and darkness. I mean, it's not actually that easy, you know. When you are in that spot, cyberbullying hits you, and it hits home. Okay, it goes so together with, you know, that kind of energy, and then you act upon it by deciding, okay, you know, there's no hope anymore, my life is over. I mean, I'm lucky because I consider myself lucky in a way, and
why? Because you have a very light psyche.
I mean, it's easy to say, oh, stick to the higher self. Oh, don't stick to the lower self. I cannot even give this kind of advice to people because I know.
Like that.
Yeah, and what about people who are not natural like that?
Yeah.
I can't exactly. So I can understand the struggle at the same time.
Yeah, it's interesting because when we were at the park yesterday, and my mom was saying, "Wow, Paula, we are so lucky." She was just talking about her and Paul because they have such a bright mental health, I guess, like that's how to put it. They're my mom and you.
Oh,
she
yeah.
was saying that. She was like, we're so lucky, we naturally have a lot of serotonin and stuff. She was saying like that.
Yeah,
and
she didn't even know that I was going through that.
but
you know.
But it's like, it's true. I don't relate to that at all. Like I feel like I'm naturally more on the dark side.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is. Maybe genetics, maybe it's other things, trauma, something like that. But it's just a different way your brain is formed. So it's like you can't snap out of it, right? It's not something that easy like that.
No.
But I do find that like we're all living a human experience. So what helps all of us. There's some things that help all of us, like community, or like having somebody understanding you, because not always family doesn't always understand you and you feel alone, but if somebody understands you, you don't feel alone. So it's like having that, and not being totally isolated emotionally. Those things help all of us.
Those things help a lot, indeed.
If I didn't have that, when I go into my dark moments, I would be like really hopeless, and I could see myself committing. I could see myself doing that, but because like it's like that little tiny thing of hope, like you can hold on to. And I think it's so important for all of us as human beings to have each other, because that's the only thing that feels real when you go into that. All the other stuff, like money, job, career, like everything else, possessions, everything else is just so meaningless. And you just realize the important things, like is connection, is real, loving, understanding relationships with other human beings.
So we didn't want to pass these blues on you guys, but I feel that even as tragic as it is, it speaks to us in many, many ways, and I'm happy that we brought it up in this episode. So
thank you for watching, and I guess we'll see you next Monday.
See you next Monday.
Thanks for watching.
Stay safe.
Bye.